Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a scary scene for students aboard a school bus that was involved in a crash in Belgrade.
Plus, nonprofits from around the state travel to Augusta to talk about their important work.
And construction is now underway on a tiny home park that will bring badly needed housing to the city of Bangor.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have a progress report on the construction of those tiny homes. It's actually beginning right now. So it used to be just an idea. Now it's coming to Bangor. Kind of exciting.
Yep.
But first, a check of the forecast, which is not very exciting at all.
I know.
Unless you're a frog or a duck or something like that. They say they like the rainy weather.
Right.
So.
I wish I were a frog or a duck right
Today,
now.
anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's check it with Devin for today's forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live. Camp on your lot. Buildings for your pets. Check them out at winterportsheds.com. Air quality is an issue out there for some areas this morning. Not in our neck of the woods. We're looking pretty good. All the observations are in the green, and they will stay there today for us. But further down to the south and west, different story. Many areas seeing some code orange air quality, some red air quality, and yes, even purple air quality, so very unhealthy air being reported in a few spots this morning, courtesy of all that wildfire smoke moving in from Quebec, Canada. But for us, so we're continuing to look good, at least at this point. But we do have rain that's moving through right now. That's helping us out a bit as well, giving us some precipitation. The way this area low pressure is setting up shop, it's causing that smoke to kind of rotate around the area low pressure here. So that's why we're not seeing much smoke in our neck of the woods. But the issue is we're just going to be dealing with this rain for a while, though, at least for the weekend before it finally starts to taper off overall. So futurecast for today, we do have rain that's going to be moving through today. It backs off a little bit later on tonight. They're looking pretty good, especially as we get towards tomorrow morning with not too much rain, but still a few more showers that we'll need to keep an eye on. But the wind will be calm. That'll be the good news, at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the wind will be relaxing and really calming down later on tonight. And look at this, very relaxed as we head towards tomorrow. So our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of rain moving through again. Temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
Thank you, Devin. A school bus carrying children was struck from behind in Belgrade. Officials say authorities responded to a report of a 3-vehicle crash involving a school bus around 3 p.m. on Tuesday. An RSU 18 school bus had its stop lights activated when it stopped on Route 8 to let children off. That's when it was struck from behind. A Ford Fusion operated by 45-year-old Kristen Carlson was stopped legally behind the bus when her vehicle was struck by a Dodge Grand Caravan driven by 24-year-old Michael Greer Jr. The momentum of the crash pushed the Fusion into the rear of the bus, causing it to be wedged beneath it. There were 6 children and 1 operator inside the bus who were all assessed by rescue personnel and medically cleared. The other vehicle occupants were not injured. There's no word on whether any charges are going to be filed.
The smell of kerosene filled the air in parts of Bangor following a spill on Tuesday afternoon. Bangor Assistant Fire Chief Casey Perry says someone was transporting kerosene in a 275-gallon tank that was mounted to a truck. He says that tank was actively leaking as it was being transported around the town.
It had been leaking during transport, and they got up here and realized they had a spill, so they called us. We just secured some of the storm drains and called DEP, and they're taking care of the situation.
The oil spilled along parts of Hammond Street, Main Ave, and also Cleveland Street.
A man accused of stabbing a man to death at the Freiburg Fair is expected to plead guilty to manslaughter. It was in October of 2021 when police say Carlos Negron got into a fight with 28-year-old Anderson Gnomes. Both Connecticut men had been working at the fair when witnesses say Negron got drunk and became angry that he didn't get a ride back to his home state. Police say Negron stabbed Gomes to death and left his body to be found in a bathroom. He's expected to plead guilty to manslaughter on Friday.
The Maine Public Utilities Commission has approved a settlement in Central Maine Power Company's distribution rate case. Under the settlement, the new rates will be implemented in 4 phases over a 2-year period to help mitigate the impact on customers. Customers will see a bill increase of about 1% or approximately $1.25 a month. That first increase will happen on July 1st. Other increases will take effect on January 1st, 2024, July 1st, 2024, and then finally on January 1st, 2025. The total increase will amount to about $5 a month over a 2-year period for an average residential customer.
The Maine Association of Nonprofits held its Nonprofit Day at the State House in person for the first time since 2019. Our Matthew Dronsick has the story.
More than 100 nonprofit representatives from across the state gathered at the State House Tuesday morning to talk about the importance of the nonprofit sector with legislators.
A lot of people think that nonprofits can't do any advocacy, but that's not the case, and nonprofits can and should participate in our government and our legislative process.
Organizations with a wide variety of focuses, ranging from homelessness to literacy, took part in the event. Together, they hope to improve on what Maine Association of Nonprofits Public Affairs Manager Mary Alice Scott calls cross-sector pollination conversations.
We at Maine Association of Nonprofits really like to encourage nonprofits to communicate across different subsectors so that there's an opportunity for those organizations to connect with each other and better move forward with their own work.
Kennebunkport Heritage Housing Trust Executive Director Larissa Crockett says the event helps reinforce the purpose of these organizations.
Being able to connect with other executive directors, other staff members at nonprofits, and really be reminded about why we do this work and the value that this work offers is really meaningful.
The Telling Room is a nonprofit organization that works to empower youth through writing and sharing their voices with the world. Its executive director, Christina Powell, says it's these conversations that can make a difference on a large scale.
At times we can feel sort of siloed and getting stuck in the minutia of things, and so to really know that we can have a big impact and thinking best, like, how do we lift our communities and our youth and engage people in the process, that's really exciting.
In Augusta, Matthew Juronsik, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news, Senator Angus King has joined on as a co-sponsor of the Improving Access to Mental Health Act of 2023. It's a bipartisan bill that would boost access to mental health care services for older Americans. The bill, which was introduced back in March, would increase the Medicare payment reimbursement rate for clinical social workers from 75% to 85% of the physician fee schedule to help them provide a full range of services to Medicare beneficiaries. The new payment structure would also give incentives to licensed professionals while also ensuring social workers the ability to provide psychosocial support services to seniors and nursing home patients through in-person and telemedicine care.
A tiny home park planned in the city of Bangor is finally taking shape. Cement slabs have been poured and walls are going up this week at the new housing development on Hammond Street. Our Jody Hersey has a sneak peek.
The housing shortage is real. You know, we've had over 200 applications for 34 homes.
Louis Morrison, a realtor and private investor from Herman, says he's seen the need for housing continue to grow over the last 14 years. So when Morrison and his business partner, Luke McCannell, discovered that this mobile home park was only 20% occupied, they thought it'd be a great location to create a tiny home park. Morrison says the goal is to build 34 individual 320-square-foot homes on this 2.5-acre lot on Hammond Street in Bangor. The cement slabs have already been poured for a handful of homes.
Single-family dwellings, it's just one bedroom, one bathroom, one open kitchen, living room area, a parking driveway for one car. You could put two people in there. It's going to be a little tight. They're really designed for a single person living.
Both Morrison and McCannell worked with city officials to make this housing option a reality. Ann Krieg is the director of community and economic development for Bangor.
When you're sort of in a housing crisis of not having enough housing units, any type of housing, it should be offered to people.
Morrison is just as excited as potential buyers for the construction on these tiny homes to be completed.
We would hope by midsummer we're able to start putting some folks in some of these homes, but you see behind me we still have a lot of work to go.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
New data shows more than 1,000 pesticide products you may be using contain PFAS. Asia Reed spoke to a Scarborough farmer and an expert about the effects of these forever chemicals.
What you're putting on your lawn, gardens, and vegetables could be very bad for you. Environmental Working Group researchers say a new study shows more than 1,400 pesticides contain active ingredients that meet Maine's definition for forever chemicals, or PFAS.
Here on the farm, we do soil tests from different parts around the property.
Catherine Samuelson with Gorison Farm says this news is concerning.
We check our water once a year as well.
Samuelson says all the testing they do is expensive. Not all farms can afford it, but she says it's worth investing in local resources.
We source our compost from a local source up in Augusta who runs a bunch of tests to make sure that their compost doesn't have PFAS in it.
Gorison Farm uses no chemicals, but they still worry about PFAS contamination.
If, say, your neighbor is using something that can then run off into your property.
Crop and conservation specialist for the Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association agrees. Even if you don't use pesticides, they can still affect you.
It's always a potential that the actions of a neighboring landowner might impact you and your land.
Even the containers of these pesticides are dangerous.
I would be less concerned about the specific active ingredients and more concerned about leachate from the containers that they're in.
Environmental Working Group researchers say not to spray PFAS on food or inside. They build up in your blood and can cause health harms. Researchers say Maine is the first state to enact a comprehensive ban on pesticides that include PFAS. This goes into effect in 2030.
Asia Reed reporting.
It's concerning. It seems like it's everywhere these days. PFAS is in waterproof mascara. I just learned that.
I'm going to stop using that.
I know, right? When you know you'll cry, just don't wear any at all. Yes. Okay, the time now is 8:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, details on a special collaboration that will protect an area of untouched land on Branch Lake in Ellsworth.
But first, another check of your weather forecast. Another rainy day on the way today. We can expect scattered showers with highs up near 56 degrees. The scattered showers will continue tonight into tomorrow. The highs tomorrow, 61.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Here at the Eddington store, we have what you're craving. From Holton Dairy Farm products to our daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner specials. Did I mention we have fresh cut meats? From Hamburg to steaks and even fresh produce, we have what you're craving. And while you're here, don't forget your ice cream at the Dairy Bar and homemade whoopie pies. Are you low on fuel? We offer gas, diesel, and propane too. The Eddington store, for more than your average convenience store. We look forward to seeing you.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, no matter how big or small, depend on Hammond Lumber Company for the products and services you need. The knowledgeable staff at Hammond Lumber will be with you every step of the way and keep your project on schedule. From free estimating and project planning to design and drafting services, an extensive product inventory with a wide variety of brands to choose from, and of course, Hammond delivers from any of the locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Saturday on Fox. The rivalry, the curse, the brushbacks, the bench clears, the brawls, the throwdowns, the walk-offs, the blood, the slap, the steal, the dive. A new season, a new chapter, the same rivalry. Red Sox, Yankees, Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
The city of Ellsworth has partnered with Frenchman Bay Conservancy to expand an area of protected land. AJ Douglas spoke with stakeholders to learn why this particular parcel is so vital to the Ellsworth community.
Governor Mills recently announced recipients of the new Land for Maine's future conservation projects. Among the 9 accepted projects is Branch Lake expansion in Ellsworth, which will boost the existing protected land by an additional 300 acres. Aaron Daugherty, Executive Director of Frenchman Bay Conservancy, explains why protecting the land along the southern border of Branch Lake is so important.
So the more that we can protect land and prevent nutrient runoff into the water, the more that we can protect the water supply and ensure a healthy water supply for the city.
Aside from protecting the city's drinking water, community leaders say the preservation project will also design trail expansions and connections.
Public forest here in Ellsworth is an amazing spot. It's a really popular hiking destination. If you walk down the tow road here, you can get into a beautiful old hemlock forest right on the shores of Branch Lake.
Ellsworth City Planner Matthew Williams says that the city welcomes millions of visitors each year, and extending the existing trails could draw more people to the area.
They either stay here and visit Acadia, or if they go through to the island to visit. So all those people use services and businesses in Ellsworth that rely on that drinking water supply. So it's a huge impact.
Williams says that there is more work to be done as the city is in the process of applying for federal funding through the Land and Water Conservation Fund to secure the parcel of land. In Ellsworth, A.J. Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Thank you very much, AJ. Well, meanwhile, the Maine State Fire Marshal's Office welcoming a new arson investigative team to its unit. One of the team members was picked especially for his keen sense of smell. Our Grace Blanchard has the story.
Every year, we see hundreds of lives being lost due to arson and billions of dollars being lost due to arson as well.
State Farm Representative Jennifer Young says they have been offering their arson dog program for the past 30 years. It is the premier training program in North America for accelerant detection canine teams. The program works in partnership with the Maine Forest Services and Fire Marshal's Office to help conduct investigations in arson cases, and recently welcomed their newest addition to the team, fire investigator Andrew Whitney and his canine Cheeto.
Human beings have about 5 to 6 million olfactory receptors. That's what we use to smell. Dogs have 225 to 300 million. So they can smell a lot that we can't smell.
Whitney and 2-year-old Cheeto went through 4 weeks of training together, and he says building that relationship is very important.
We're there with them 24/7 for almost a full month. So that creates a big bond, and it's important because there's a lot of subtleties in his behavior that I need to be able to see when we're working.
According to Kent Nelson with Maine Forest Services, they have seen a 30 to 40% increase in wildland fires in the last 4 to 5 years. He says these cases are difficult to solve, but the dogs provide a great service.
By using the Fire Marshal's Office's dogs, who can sniff accelerants, and the Maine Forest Service helicopter, we can work together and try to investigate these arsons that are occurring and try to get these people taken care of that are doing them.
Cheeto and his friends are about to prove just how brave they are as they climb aboard the helicopter. Part of their canine work requires quick response to emergent situations. Today's demonstration was Canine Cheeto's first airborne flight aboard the Maine State Forestry helicopter, which Nelson says is pivotal in this partnership.
That these dogs help us to determine the cause of the fire, and once we know what the cause is, it really helps us with our wildfire prevention efforts. So it's really a great relationship with the Fire Marshal's Office as well as the Maine Forest Service.
With this new addition, Cheeto is now the 3rd dog to join the Fire Marshal team. In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time now is 8:18. Coming up after the break, we're seeing the Canadian wildfires affect air quality all across the United States.
Plus, more Republican candidates have joined the presidential race. We'll have these stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
When Healing Hands Massage wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Healing Hands Massage provides massage therapy tailored to each of its clients, whether you have chronic pain or just want a little relaxation. Healing Hands Massage, Main Road North in Hamden.
Detail 207, an average guy with the knowledge and skills to fully detail your vehicle. From cars and trucks to big rigs and motorcycles, we detail it all. If it has wheels and it isn't as clean as you'd like it to be, give me a call and we'll set up an appointment today. 659-2995.
Shine on a dime with your average guys at Detail 207.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
Mom and Dad, you must be so proud.
We're proud of all of our children.
She has to say that.
Oh, you can't run away from me forever.
Just a heads up, this is my good side.
Yeah.
Bazinga, bazinga, bazinga.
Ah! Are you trying to kill me?
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
A large swath of the U.S. faces air quality alerts this morning because of the smoke from the wildfires up in Canada. New York already seeing the worst air pollution of any city in the world, creating a health hazard for people as far south as the Carolinas. Some schools are even canceling recess. ABC's Andrea Fujii has more.
This morning, from bad to worse. Tens of millions of Americans are on alert for unhealthy air. The New York Yankees game last night smelling like a campfire. New York at one point seeing the worst air quality of any city on Earth. The smoky haze coming from wildfires in Canada is blotting skylines from Manhattan to Cleveland.
We're really seeing these exceptional levels that are traditionally seen in really populated cities.
More than 400 wildfires are burning across Canada, from the western provinces to Quebec, turning the sky bright orange. Smoke seeping across the border, prompting air quality advisories for at least 80 million Americans as far south as North Carolina. One expert saying if you're exposed to the current air quality in New York for 24 hours, it could be equivalent to smoking 6 cigarettes.
The immediate health risks are worsening of asthma and worsening of allergy symptoms. It can happen immediately in exposure to this type of air quality.
Vulnerable people are warned to stay inside. Scientists monitor unhealthy air from wildfire smoke by measuring a particle known as PM2.5, which is small enough to get past your airway defenses and cause breathing problems. A recent study at Stanford University found in the last decade there's been a 27-fold increase in the number of people living in areas with an unhealthy amount of PM2.5 at least one day per year.
Officials in Canada say half of the country's wildfires are burning out of control. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Scary.
Not a great situation up there at all. And the good news for us, though, it seems like it's kind of avoiding us at this time. It's kind of, we're like in a little bubble here in Maine. It's all going around us. Don't know how long that's going to last. But
right. Yeah. Devin's graphic showing that is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Let's throw it over to Devin to see what's up with the forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live? Camp on your lot? Buildings for your pets? Check them out at winterportsheds.com. Air quality is an issue out there this morning in some parts of the Northeast. For us, we're okay thanks to the area low pressure helping to steer that smoke away from us, and the rainfall helping us out as well, keeping us in the green. But areas to the south and west, not looking too good. Many areas seeing code orange, code red air quality, kind of like New York. Look at Philadelphia, code purple in some spots as well. That's very unhealthy air, so not a good situation for these areas right now. That's dealing with all that wildfire smoke moving in from Quebec, Canada. But again, for us here at home, we're looking pretty good with regards to the air quality at this point. So again, here's all this smoke. It will continue to rotate around this area at low pressure. So by later on tonight, we'll continue to see this kind of rotating through. But notice, though, pretty much going all the way around us as, again, Quebec continues to deal with the fires there. The smoke's getting pulled down by New York and Philadelphia. while for us, though, just the rain and the smoke going around us for the time being. Alrighty, wave height's not too bad out there at around 1 to 4 feet overall, according to the buoys. Closer toward land, we're looking pretty good. No advisories in effect at all for the entire state. So again, we're looking pretty good. Just some showers that continue to move through this morning. Maybe some moderate downpours in a few spots as well. So we've had a few yellows showing up on the radar as well, but no lightning on the radar. So at least we're looking pretty good in that regard with this area low pressure here that continues to sit and spin. Here's a front right about in here. So again, this will be very slow to move. We'll have to wait until this weekend before it finally begins to get out of here. So futurecast for today, a few scattered showers on the way for us. Notice later on tonight, things start to back off just a bit, but then by tomorrow, a few more showers will be possible, especially further off towards the north. They'll be watching for a little bit more shower action later in the daytime period, though. And again, once we head towards the Thursday night and the parts of Friday, here we go again, kind of a repeat pattern with more showers yet again moving in. As for the rain, though, here's kind of the general idea with between another half an inch and maybe an inch of rain possible between now and the weekend before this finally starts to taper off. So still some decent rainfall on the way for us. So your forecast for today, scattered showers, highest in the mid-50s, and northwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, upper 40s on the way, a few scattered showers on the way with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, lower 60s, scattered showers and an east breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Plenty of rain on the way. We have scattered showers today, tomorrow, and Friday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible on Saturday. Finally drying out on Sunday as temperatures warm back up into the mid-70s.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Bathfitter is a better way to remodel your tub. Precise measuring means the perfect fit. The Bathfitter tub-over-tub process means no mess or stress. A custom-made tub and seamless wall mean a watertight fit. Premium acrylic means it lasts a lifetime. And all this together means a great value. Bathfitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Now to that mass shooting causing chaos at a high school graduation in Virginia. Police overnight described the deadly violence as a targeted attack, with witnesses reporting dozens of gunshots in rapid succession. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has the latest.
This morning, a Virginia community in shock after a mass shooting brought chaos to a high school graduation. At least 7 people were shot outside a Richmond theater where graduates and their families were leaving the ceremony.
Probably at least like 30 shots total. I saw the ambulance pull away several people off of the ground.
Police say 2 people are dead. A family member telling ABC News they were father and son, 18-year-old Sean Jackson and his father, Renzo Smith, there to celebrate his son's graduation. Jackson's younger sister was hit by a fleeing car and is recovering. This image shows students in caps and gowns running from the scene.
They just continuously fired and everyone started running for their lives.
A 19-year-old suspect is now in custody, expected to face second-degree murder charges. Police saying they believe this was a targeted attack.
We think the suspect knew at least one of the victims.
The superintendent, still in the robe he wore for the ceremony, emotional.
Tired of seeing people get shot, our kids get shot, and I beg of the entire community to stop.
A child should be able to go to their graduation and walk out their graduation and enjoy the accomplishment with their friends and their families. It's nothing sacred any longer.
5 other people were injured in the aftermath. Officials say multiple handguns were found at the scene. Andrew Dimber, ABC News, New York.
This morning, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has officially entered the presidential race, launching his campaign with a fierce attack on Donald Trump. But does Christie have what it takes to beat the former president? ABC's Lindsay Watts has the latest from Washington.
Christie is coming out of the gate swinging.
The reason I'm going after Trump is twofold. One, he deserves it. And 2, it's the way to win.
While other Republicans vying for the White House have mostly avoided mentioning the former president, Christie said Trump's name more than 40 times as he launched his campaign at a town hall in New Hampshire.
The person I am talking about, who is obsessed with the mirror, who never admits a mistake, who never admits a fault, and who always finds someone else and something else to blame for whatever goes wrong, but finds every reason to take credit for anything that goes right, is Donald Trump.
Trump responded on social media, saying Christie's speech was hard to watch and boring, calling him a failed governor. Christie is a former Trump advisor who also ran for president in 2016. Polling by 538 shows he hasn't exceeded more than 3% in a single primary poll this year.
I hear Chris Christie is coming in.
Former Vice President Mike Pence is also launching his campaign for president today in Iowa. He filed paperwork on Monday, making him the first VP in modern history to take on his former running mate.
The GOP primary will get even more crowded later today when North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum announces his campaign. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, Ellsworth is putting on a big celebration for its annual Pride festivities.
Plus, Bangor may soon be getting a decorative street canopy, similar to those found in Puerto Rico or Portugal. We'll have those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Good checkup? No, great checkup. Nailed it again.
Keep up the good work. For great checkups, Crest has you covered because Crest Pro Health protects 100% of your mouth for 24 hours.
Look, Mom, no cavities.
Crest. Febreze.
Hate it when a car freshener hits you with an overwhelming blast of perfume? Febreze car vent clips work differently. Febreze gives you consistent freshness that starts just right and stays just right for 40 days. Upgrade to Febreze car.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Comfort Shoes and More, and Dirt Road Acres want to send you to see Kane Brown live in concert on his Drunk or Dreaming tour with special guest Gabby Barrett and Restless Road, Thursday, June 22nd at the Main Savings Amphitheater in Bangor. Sign up to win tickets by registering at Comfort Shoes and More in Newport. Visit your knowledgeable staff to find your summer footwear solutions. And Dirt Road Acres, your #1 trusted dispensary providing outstanding customer service and award-winning knowledge. Win tickets to see Kane Brown, June 22nd on the Bangor waterfront.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Look back. Today is Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. It's also World Food Safety Day.
This day was established by the United Nations to raise awareness about the importance of food etiquette and safety at all the stages of the food chain. And etiquette's different to every culture you go in. Sometimes I learned recently, I really like Thai green chili, and you're not supposed to put the chili on top of the rice. You're supposed to have the rice in a different bowl, and that's etiquette to take the spoon and pour a little bit on the rice. So
Interesting.
It's different everywhere you go. But in other news, food poisoning causes an estimated 600 million illnesses annually, and that's why it's important to handle food with the utmost care before it reaches our plates. This holiday was created to raise awareness about the importance of protecting our food from contamination during the long chain of distribution. Use different cutting boards and always wash your produce.
Yeah, I try to remember that. Sometimes I mix them up, though. I'll use the meat board with my vegetables.
That's not good.
Yeah. I've been lucky so far.
Yes.
Knock on wood there.
Yep. I'm hyper aware of those types of things.
Do what she said. Don't do what I do. On this day in history, back in 1929, Vatican City signed a treaty that made it an independent state. At 0.17 square miles, it's considered to be the smallest country in the world. In 1942, the Battle of Midway took place in the Pacific. It's regarded as one of the most decisive U.S. victories against the Japanese during World War II, and also a turning point in the war. And in 1982, Elvis Presley's Graceland home in Memphis was open to the public for the first time and is now one of the top tourist attractions in the entire country.
I would love to go.
Yeah. Road trip.
Right.
Memphis road trip.
And there's so much to do in Memphis, too.
Yeah.
And I think I would gain some weight while I was
I'd love to try the food down there, too.
So much good eating. Yep. All right, and in 2002, President George W. Bush announced the creation of the Department of Homeland Security to protect America from terrorist attacks. All right, and birthdays today include rapper Iggy Azalea, who's 33, actor Liam Neeson is 71, comedian and actor Bill Hader's 45, and singer Tom Jones is 83.
We didn't fit Iggy into the picture, but, you know, people around here might know.
I don't think the production crew likes Iggy Azalea that much.
Maybe not. She didn't make the cut, so, yeah. She's a very talented, young, foul-mouthed rapper.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a fan.
We'll leave it at that anyway. She's got good energy. Boy, I said this during the 6 o'clock report. I brought my daughter there to her concert last summer, and I was blushing the whole time. It's like, oh my gosh, what are these words you're saying?
And then that was the intro to the Pitbull.
Yeah, Pitbull was awesome. Pitbull is great.
Pitbull is kind of in his own way equally as vulgar.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah. Okay, let's leave it at that.
Okay,
you're right. You're all vulgar.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about the weather. It looks like more rain on the way today.
More rain and more clouds.
Watch out your mouth.
Here's Devin. Thanks.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live. Camp on your lot. Buildings for your pets. Check them out at winterportsheds.com. Air quality is an issue out there for some areas this morning. Not in our neck of the woods. We're looking pretty good. All the observations are in the green, and they will stay there today for us. But further down to the south and west, different story. Many areas seeing some code orange air quality, some red air quality, and yes, even purple air quality, so very unhealthy air being reported in a few spots this morning, courtesy of all that wildfire smoke moving in from Quebec, Canada. But for us, so we're continuing to look good, at least at this point. But we do have rain that's moving through right now. That's helping us out a bit as well, giving us some precipitation. The way this area low pressure is setting up shop, it's causing that smoke to kind of rotate around the area low pressure here. So that's why we're not seeing much smoke in our neck of the woods. But the issue is we're just going to be dealing with this rain for a while, though, at least in the weekend before it finally starts to taper off overall. So futurecast for today, we do have rain that's going to be moving through today. It backs off a little bit later on tonight. They're looking pretty good, especially as we get towards tomorrow morning with not too much rain, but still a few more showers that we'll need to keep an eye on. But the wind will be calm. That'll be the good news, at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So the wind will be relaxing and really calming down later on tonight. And look at this, very relaxed as we head towards tomorrow. So our hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of rain moving through again. Temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Well, organizers from the heart of Ellsworth are preparing for the Ellsworth Pride celebration. Organizer Rachel Eve calls this one of the biggest celebrations in the Ellsworth area, as hundreds come out to show support for the LGBTQ community. She says more than 30 Ellsworth businesses donated to the event. Eve reflected on the first Pride celebration she attended.
It was my first experience seeing intergenerational LGBTQ plus people together. I'm not from an area where queer folks can gather in large quantities without being protested, so it was so heartening to see folks who are older and younger come together for this one event.
The festivities will take place this Sunday from 11:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Knowlton Park in Ellsworth. And I believe, too, if you can't make it to that one on Sunday, but you want to go to a Pride, Bar Harbor is doing stuff Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So there's all sorts of events.
Yeah, all month long.
Yeah, all sorts of cool stuff. Still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports.
We'll be right back after this.
Hood is the cottage cheese lovers love. Start with our award-winning country style. It's delicious on its own, or like this. That. Even, sure. Plus, it's got more protein than hummus and less sugar than yogurt. Then there's Hood's flavors. We expertly blend in real fruit or savory herbs for an unbeatable taste combination you can't recreate at home. Now that's cottage cheese. Hood cottage cheese. Always good, always Hood.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
There's no reason to be overwhelmed. We can help you through it.
we're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
Your roof is your first line of defense against the elements. Ensure it's always at peak performance with Peak Performance Roofing. With more than 20 years of experience in the roofing industry, our professionals provide quality craftsmanship and expertise that you can rely on. We are fully insured and stand behind our work. You can trust us to get the job done right the first time. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Peak Performance Roofing today to schedule your free estimate. 416-8301. Peak Performance Roofing. Your roof is our priority.
On the next Last Man Standing.
Left unchecked, older sisters are monsters. And by that, I mean they're horrible people.
Jen just wants to fit in.
I don't know what she told you about us.
She called you monsters and horrible people.
She's just bitter because you've replaced her in our hearts.
You don't have a heart, you just have emojis.
And Mike's pastor is calling it quits.
How do you even do that? I thought this was like working for the mob.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Where in America do the best cooks come from?
4 regions, 20 contestants.
Sharpen your knives.
MasterChef United Tastes of America, tonight on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start out on the tennis courts. Wednesday is the state team finals down in Portland, and Foxcroft Academy is taking both their girls and their boys. They could walk away with the first 2 state titles in program history. Ryan Sudol has the story.
It's very surreal. I never expected even one chance and one opportunity at this.
But on Wednesday at the State Tennis Championships, Foxcroft Academy will have 2 chances to win. Their boys and girls teams are both B North champions.
I feel good. Our team got to the final, and especially we have boys and girls go to the final together.
All the sports at FA, I feel like tennis is the least popular, so going this far is really great for us.
The boys are a unique case in that all but one of the players debuted this year. Plus, all of them are international students.
They came talented, but I also think they had to come together here at Foxcroft Academy. And I think cohesiveness is the biggest part of this boys team that's helped them come together and produce where we're at right now.
And with a number of the players leaving after this year, it adds more motivation to get it done.
It might be the first and only year I got the final, and we try everything to get the final this year.
On the girls' side, just 2 players returned, and a bunch of them never played tennis before this year. But their connections in other sports has helped them form a cohesive unit.
We're all really close because we played every other sport together, so going in we all knew each other. We have a really good connection.
It's quite remarkable. They've just come together at the right time and are playing their best tennis now, so that's all I can say for them.
And if that streak of best tennis continues, who says the Ponies can't win a state championship? Or 2.
Something very fun, happy for the team and for the school. It's very special.
Amazing. It's surreal. I couldn't even imagine, but hopefully.
In Dover Foxcroft, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7 Fox 22 Sports.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Wishing them luck down there. Let's move on now. Later in the month, a star-studded list of celebrities and athletes will converge on Falmouth Country Club for the Drive 4 Kids Celebrity Tournament, and a big name was introduced on Tuesday morning. The field now includes Boston Bruins goalie and former University of Maine star Jeremy Swayman, who got to play a quick 9 at Falmouth Tuesday, just a few weeks ahead of the real thing. Swayman is an avid golfer and enjoyed a spectacular season between the pipes in Boston. Jeremy will join former Bruins goalie Tuukka Rask in the tournament. He is looking forward to teeing it up and having some fun, all for a great cause.
Well, I was super excited to get the call and seeing just the first-class organization of people putting it together, Brian reaching out. I couldn't have been more excited to be back up. Supporting such an incredible cause, and just being back in the community of Maine, knowing how much it means to me, getting to spend time up in Orono. I feel like the entire state is home to me.
Swayman and the Bruins enjoyed a historical regular season, the best in NHL history to be exact, but fell short of their goal, falling in the first round to the Panthers. Talking to Swayman, he said the Bees coming back with a vengeance next fall.
It's, the goal wasn't achieved, and that's something that's going to stick with me, and I'm sure a lot of my teammates moving forward. Knowing that and the experience that we gained this year, it's an exciting time because we're going to be coming back, twice as strong, and we understand that the core guys we have here are going to be here for a while.
Coming back twice as strong, I'm going to hold him to it. Let's go to some playoff baseball now. Preliminary action beginning this week around the state before the quarterfinals on Wednesday and Thursday. Mount View Mustangs, the 11 seed, they are trying to get past the 6th-ranked Orono Red Riots. Bottom of the first, Saladin Wise on first, gets a great jump on this pitch, and the leadoff hitter is in scoring position. Nice stolen base there. Next batter, Caden Gray, trying to bring him in, but Noah Hurd gets him looking. Great outing on the day from Hurd. We'll have more later on him. Next batter, Ellis Spalding, and he lifts one into left field. Wise with another great jump. Once he realizes this is going to land, he scores on the play. Riots up 1-0. But Hurd would end the jam. He gets Jack Brewer looking on the inside fastball there. 11 Ks for him on the mound today, and Spalding went toe-to-toe with him. Gets out of the second inning here by striking out Bernie Dodge. He Ks 12 Mustangs on the day. Orono wins 1-0. They play Bucksport in the quarters. And for some other scores around our area, George Stevens over Panquist in the softball prelim, that's Class C. Holton over Sumner in the Class C softball prelim as well. In the baseball prelim, Stearns over Lee Academy in Class D, and then Mount Ararat over Brewer in boys lacrosse. That is all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
An Odyssey is a long journey full of adventures. And at Odyssey Auto Spa, we understand every vehicle's journey is different.
Hi, I'm Jacob Gage, and as the owner of Odyssey, I take pride in offering a full range of detailing services to keep your ride looking its best. From basic detailing to ceramic coatings, window tint to wraps, we've got you covered. Come see us at our Ellsworth location and let us help you keep your ride looking its best.
Have you always dreamed of having a beautiful green lawn? Let Maine Lawn Pros help. Featuring hydroseeding, the fast, affordable, and effective way to achieve the lawn of your dreams. Hydroseeding is a process that involves spraying a mixture of grass seed, fertilizer, and mulch onto your lawn. The result? A beautiful green lawn in no time. Hydroseeding is perfect for both residential and commercial properties alike. So why wait? Call Maine Lawn Pros today to help you get the lawn you've always wanted with hydroseeding. 416-6122.
Plant scientist. Botanist.
Yeah! You got it! That's what I'm talking about!
When celebrities
You got sassy.
come to play,
Just because you got your guns out. I don't know what you're talking about.
it's all fun and games.
First name Urkel. Oh, Steve.
25 words or less.
Beauty Mark. Mole.
That's the money, y'all!
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Sure, the driveway looks good now with the snow on it, but you know what will still be under there in the spring? The same cracks, crumbles, and potholes that were there before winter. Call Eaton Paving today. Let's make an appointment to fix those problems when the weather is ready. Eaton Paving and Excavation.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we've been talking about Pride Month this week on Good Morning Maine, and we want to let you know about a special event that will take place this Thursday in Bangor. A special panel will discuss the use of pronouns and why it's so important to members of the LGBTQ community. We're very happy to have Jill Henderson joining us now from Health Equity Alliance, which is one of the organizers. Jill, thank you for coming in this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me.
When I saw your email earlier this week of this, I thought we need to get you in. This is such an important issue for a lot of people, especially some of the younger people trying to find their ways through the world today. Talk to us about pronouns. It's really changed in recent years, but it's helped these people kind of identify the way they want to be identified.
Yeah, so we're having this panel, and it's about the importance of LGBTQ plus inclusive language, which, you know, encompasses pronouns and a lot of the other language we use that folks can use to describe themselves, to share their identities with the world, and to be visible and to be, you know, honoring themselves, which is really wonderful. And it's important to know how to use those tools and important to know how to treat other people with dignity and respect. And so we hope to have a really positive conversation that people can learn a lot from and hopefully take some skills back to where they work or their lives or, you know, how they interact with loved ones. So it's really important.
It's a little confusing for old guys like me trying to keep up to date. Thank goodness I have people like Emma here. She'll keep me straight. And I'm like, what are they trying to say with this? And she'll explain it to me. But
well, I love that you said it's about honoring themselves, because oftentimes I think people struggle with, you know, the language is changing so fast. It's hard for me to keep up with it. But to me, I think you said it perfectly right there. If somebody chooses a word for themselves, that's about them honoring themselves. Yeah. So I think that's a really interesting way to put it.
Absolutely. You know, it's about, you know, language is one of the most important things that we can always control ourselves as individuals, how we speak to others and how we speak, whether it be verbally or non-verbally or, you know, seeming disinterested or rolling your eyes or those things. Those all those all help to show someone what you think about them and show someone if you're respecting them. And so, you know, when you learn the skills of how to honor people and how to make sure you're respecting them, it leads to more positive interactions.
Probably more important for young people today. I know there's a big concern. A lot of these kids out there, they struggle. The suicide rates are high for LGBTQ kids. And that's one more reason why this is important, to kind of treat them the way they want to be treated.
Right.
Absolutely.
With dignity. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's super important for mental health, especially for young people and young folks in the LGBTQ plus community. You know, it's important for them to see that there's conversation around, you know, people wanting to learn more and wanting to get better and want to have more open and inclusive spaces for them, you know, to know that they do belong, that they are valued, and that they are loved by their community.
I think most people, they want to treat people with respect out there, and it's just a matter of learning. Luckily, it's starting to become commonplace for me now. I'm getting used to it, and you know, last thing I want to do is offend anybody. Yeah. But the point of this, maybe keep it going and expand on it. Give us the details of the event if people want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So the event is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. this Thursday at the Zillman Art Museum in Bangor. It's a wonderful collaboration between, you know, HEAL and Bangor Pride, Northern Light Health, and the Zillman Art Museum in UMaine. So,
and of course, HEAL is Health Equity Alliance.
Health Equity Alliance, yes.
And where can people learn more? Do you guys have a website?
Yes, so people can go to mainehealthequity.org, or they can follow Bangor Pride on Facebook for all of our events and updates.
Cool. Jill, thanks for joining us this morning.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage? A place to live. Camp on your lot. Buildings for your pets. Check them out at winterportsheds.com. Air quality is an issue out there this morning in some parts of the Northeast. For us, we're okay thanks to the area low pressure helping to steer that smoke away from us, and the rainfall helping us out as well, keeping us in the green. But areas to the south and west, not looking too good. Many areas seeing code orange, code red air quality, kind of like New York. Look at Philadelphia, code purple in some spots as well. That's very unhealthy air, so not a good situation for these areas right now. That's dealing with all that wildfire smoke moving in from Quebec, Canada. But again, for us here at home, we're looking pretty good with regards to the air quality at this point. So again, here's all this smoke. It will continue to rotate around this area low pressure. So by later on tonight, we'll continue to see this kind of rotating through. But notice though, pretty much going all the way around us as again, Quebec continues to deal with the fires there. The smoke's getting pulled down by New York and Philadelphia. area, while for us, though, just the rain and the smoke going around us for the time being. Alrighty, wave height's not too bad out there at around 1 to 4 feet overall, according to the buoys. Closer toward land, we're looking pretty good. No advisories in effect at all for the entire state. So again, we're looking pretty good. Just some showers that continue to move through this morning. Maybe some moderate downpours in a few spots as well. So we've had a few yellows showing up on the radar as well, but no lightning on the radar. So at least we're looking pretty good in that regard with this area low pressure here that continues to sit and spin. Here's a front right about in here. So again, this will be very slow to move. We'll have to wait until this weekend before it finally begins to get out of here. So futurecast for today, a few scattered showers on the way for us. Notice but later on tonight, things start to back off just a bit, but then by tomorrow, a few more showers will be possible, especially further off towards the north. They'll be watching for a little bit more shower action later in the daytime period, though. And again, once we head towards the Thursday night and the parts of Friday, here we go again, kind of a repeat pattern with more showers yet again moving in. As for the rain, though, here's kind of the general idea with between another half an inch and maybe an inch of rain possible between now and the weekend before this finally starts to taper off. So still some decent rainfall on the way for us. So your forecast for today, scattered showers, highest in the mid-50s, and northwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, upper 40s on the way, a few scattered showers on the way, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, lower 60s, scattered showers and an east breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Plenty of rain on the way. We have scattered showers today, tomorrow, and Friday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible on Saturday. Finally drying out on Sunday as temperatures warm back up into the mid-70s.
The McDonald's breakfast bagel sandwich. A fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. Enjoy yours today.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Whether it's coaching Little League, volunteering to help our seniors, building affordable places to call home, or providing the children of our employees with scholarships, the New England Toyota dealers and the thousands of people we employ play a role in lifting up the community. We're proud to serve you and to be part of those things that benefit us all. Toyota. Let's go places.
Protect your dog from fleas and ticks with NexGard Chews, the protection that's #1 with dogs. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. For a limited time, get up to a 2-month rebate when you buy 12 doses of both NexGard Chews and HeartGuard Plus Chews from your vet. Terms apply.
I'm looking for a partner that I can invest $250,000 in. I'm looking for my next food star.
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars, tonight on Fox.
Animal Control, Thursdays on Fox, or watch anytime on Hulu.
The McDonald's breakfast bagel sandwich. A fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. Enjoy yours today.
A sanctuary in Bucksport is helping a herd of farm animals live out the rest of their lives in comfort, but they need a little more help. Coastal Dreams Farm and Sanctuary has rescued 7 horses, 3 dogs, 2 mini pigs, 2 goats, and a flock of birds. Now they're looking for some volunteers to come to the rescue. Currently, the staff on the farm only consists of its founder and director, Elisha Kruteleski, and 3 volunteers, but more are needed to make sure all of the animals get the care they deserve. Along with farm volunteers, Kruteleski is looking for foster homes for many of the dogs at the sanctuary so she can make room and save more pups from kill shelters in Florida.
There is an opportunity for anybody and everybody. We can find a spot for you here, and we would love for you to join our team.
If you don't have the time to volunteer but still want to help, Coastal Dreams is also looking for donations of all kinds. For more information about volunteering or donating, message Krudaleski through the Coastal Dreams Farm and Sanctuary Facebook page.
Important work she's doing.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, a new art installation could be coming to downtown Bangor. A canopy of multicolored umbrellas, known as the Umbrella Project, could soon hang over Cross Street in Bangor. The Downtown Bangor Partnership began exploring this type of art display created by a Portuguese company 3 years ago. The goal is to bring color